This build was made possible by scaledworld.net. If you want to get your build featured, fill out the feature link below and check out some other features on their site as well, as they produce a lot of nice content from builders all around the world. With the body now most of the way finished, I needed to move on to the next stage, and that was the interior. All of the parts were removed from their sprues as much as needed, and then of course prepped and primed before applying a couple of various colors. The main interior color will be saddle tan. That will be the main focal point, and all of the other pieces surrounding it will mostly be black, just a flat black to simulate the leather look, nothing fancy. Aside from the black leather and the leather tan, there will of course also be some trim pieces, and these are painted in a gunmetal to later on be covered with carbon fiber decals. On modern Ferrari interiors, there are a lot of small trim pieces that can be optioned in various colors. Most standard colors are silver, a darker gray, and in my case I'm optioning them all in carbon fiber. So these of course needed to be templated first, stuck on a piece of tape, then marked it out with a marker, and then transferred that to the carbon fiber decal sheet. This is done for all of those small pieces in multiple small sections to make it a lot easier to apply them. With all of the templating done, I just transferred those to the carbon fiber decal sheet, cut them out, put them into the water, and started carefully applying them with some decal setting solution, and then on top of it some decal softening solution to conform them nicely to the shape underneath. To help conform these pieces into the shapes without touching them too much and distorting them, I use a hairdryer just to blow some hot air onto it, conform them, make them a bit softer, and also help the softening solution work in a bit better. I do that a couple times, just adding some more solution in between, and then moving on to heating it up again. After finishing up the front, I moved on to doing the same to the back side of the steering wheel with the same pieces, just transferred into a mirror image. Some other trim pieces all around, like on the dashboard, were also covered in carbon fiber decals, and then there were a couple of vents as well. These were a bit more complicated, but with the proper templating, it's pretty easy to do. You just need to take your time and don't want to rush it. All of the pieces have been made into carbon fiber pieces as I desired, and I could then move on to applying the kit decals for some of the gauges and also some of the buttons on the center bridge. At the beginning of the video, I painted all of the parts in their main pieces, then I started adding the carbon fiber decals to detail it out even more, and then to finish off the details, I'm going to be hand brush painting some of them on as well. Just using some bellow colors, nothing fancy, just adding a bit of highlighting on some of the pieces and the buttons here and there. Once the carbon fiber decals were applied, I let them sit and dry for a couple of hours before clear coating them, just to protect them a bit more and not look that matte as they do after you apply them, and give them a little bit of a glossy sheen to them. Pretty much all of the details have been applied and painted on, so I could then move on to finishing it off with some carpet, adding a nice layer of gloss clear to act as a glue, and then to put the flocking on top of it in order to get that carpety look. With the carpet in, all of the details now done, I could move on to just assembling it all. For on the door cards themselves, they supply you with a nice speaker grille as well. Now these are supposed to be black on the actual car, but I kind of like the silver look like they have on the Mercedes models with the Burmester Hi-Fi sound system, so I figured I'd try that on this one as well, and I think it looks pretty good. Otherwise it would have just been black again and lost a lot of the detail in my personal opinion. With all of the assembly for the interior now done as far as I can get it, without having to assemble the entire model, I'm just going to do a couple dry fit pieces in order to see how it would look against the body color. This build was made possible by scaledworld.net. If you want to get your build featured, fill out the feature link below and check out some other features on their site as well, as they produce a lot of nice content from builders all around the world.